This is an audio-only recording of a yoga exercise session for Vision of Adventure. This winter our sessions are sponsored by the charity, Fight for Sight. A yoga session led by Hannah Robleski.
So we'll start lying down. You can decide whether you want to have your legs long or whether you want to have your knees bend. Both of this is absolutely fine. Knees bend often is nicer for the lower back, especially if you're struggling with lower back issues. Knees bend, walking the feet out a little wider than your hips and allowing the knees to rest against each other is a really nice way of giving a little bit of space to your lower back. Your hands can just lie next to you, or you can rest them on your tummy. If you have them next to you, just maybe turn them up towards the sky. That way you gently open through the front of your chest and your front shoulders. We'll open them up a little bit. Then close your eyes and take a moment to arrive. So it's the evening, and with our practice, we want to make sure to ground ourselves, to find that connection to the earth and to the support beneath you. And then start noticing all of the parts of the body, starting at the lowest part of the body, your toes. Noticing all the parts of the body that connect to the earth beneath you. Bring your awareness to the big toe, the baby toe, the inner heel, the outer heel. And then along the legs, if they're lying down, noticing the calves and thighs resting against the floor. Notice your pelvis resting against the floor. The curvature of your lumbar, your lower spine. And follow that to your thoracic, your middle spine. Notice the connection your chest, the back, upper back makes to the ground. When you're breathing in, how it presses against the floor. And when you're breathing out, how the back of the heart, the space between the shoulder blades, melts deeper into the earth. Bring your awareness to the shoulders, down your arms, elbows, forearms, and the back of the hands resting against the floor. And then bring your awareness to the back of the head. Notice the whole back body connecting to the earth beneath you. Now on your next inhalation, you'll place both hands onto your tummy, wherever they rest naturally. Guiding the breath into the hands. Just allowing the belly to rise and fall effortlessly. And then we do something today called a 3-part breath. And it's quite what it says on the tin. So you're breathing in 3 parts. In between, you will hold your breath. So you breathe in into your lower lungs. Hold your breath. You breathe in into the middle lung. Hold the breath. Top up the top of the lung. Hold your breath. And then breathe out in one steady flow. We repeat that a few times. So breathing in into your lower lungs and hold the breath. Add the middle of the lung, breathing in and hold the breath. Top up the top of the lung, breathing in, hold the breath, and then slowly breathing out. We repeat that one more time. Breathing into the bottom of your lungs and hold the breath. Add the middle of the lung, breathing in more and hold the breath. Breathing into the top of the lung, hold the breath, and breathe out in one long go. From here, when you're breathing in next, if you haven't already, you bend your knees and place the soles of the feet into the ground. You walk your feet in until your inner knees and toes are touching. You reach the arms up towards the sky. You grab hold of the opposite elbow, so right hand to left elbow, left hand to right elbow. And in this position, you bring your arms back and behind you. You can rest your arms in this position on the ground or on your forehead. So forehead is a really nice option if you've got a headache, if you feel your shoulders are tight, or if you have one of those days where your brain is just and your mind is full of thoughts and you can't quite shake it off. Take one more deep breath in here. Then you change the grip of the elbow. So you're bringing your other hand on top. And this time you bring the soles of the feet together and allow your knees to butterfly open. So right knee opens to the right, left knee opens to the left. You can decide whether you want to be in stillness here. For some, it might feel quite nice to gently sway a little bit from side to side, or exactly to flutter your knees as if you're a butterfly taking flight. Take one more breath in here. And then bring the feet back down onto the ground. Stretch your arms back behind you. Lengthen your legs as long as possible. Full body stretch. Flex your feet. So bring the toes back. Press the heels into the ground. And then as you exhale, you bring your knees close to the chest. You wrap your hands around the shins and sway from side to side. So you can grab your shins with your hands, or if that doesn't feel so nice on the knees, you can always glide your hands behind your knees. And then place the feet down onto the ground. Reaching your arms back and behind you. Roll onto whichever side feels more natural today. Take a moment here, like curling up in this fetal position, and then bring yourself up into a seated position of your choice. So coming to seated, yes, if you feel like you need to kind of take a little stretch, a little wiggle, maybe a little shake through the arms, the leg, feel free, and we'll come into a seated position. You can sit cross-legged, bringing your opposite feet underneath your knees. If that doesn't feel so good, you can also come to sit on your heels instead. If that doesn't feel so good, you come into diamond shape, where you bring the soles of the feet together, just as we did in butterfly. and allow the knees to fall open. Either of these positions are fine. You're sitting up tall, you're lifting your shoulders up to the ears. And then as you exhale, melting the shoulders away. Good. Now imagine there's little pockets of air between each of your vertebrae, and they allow your spine to really grow tall. You almost want to think about sticking your bottom out back and behind you. And then as you inhale next, you're reaching your arms up towards the sky, lifting through your fingertips. And today you want to reach one arm a little higher, as if you're trying to pluck some cherries of a really high tree. And then you're reaching the other arm higher. So it's going through the right, through the left. That's it. Really sort of like reaching through the fingertips, really imagining the dexterity of your fingers picking and plucking something up. So they're getting involved in that stretch too. That's it. Very nice, everyone. And then take each side one more time before you bring your hands down onto your knees. Palms are facing down, and we'll start with a few shoulder rolls, taking the shoulders up, back, down and forwards, up, back, down and forwards, taking your time here. And the reason why we're going backwards is that often in our day-to-day life, everything is happening in front of us, so our posture gets naturally a little bit more rounded. Our shoulders get tighter, so it's a really nice way of keeping them in a happy place, keeping them open and mobile. Then placing your fingertips onto your shoulders. So the front of the shoulders, and it's almost as if you're trying to take up a backpack. So you're taking your elbows forwards, sideways, down and forwards, forwards, out, down and forwards, up, out, down and forwards. One more time. Up, back, down and forwards. Reaching the arms up towards the sky, lifting through your fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands behind your head as if you're sunbathing. So we're interlacing our hands behind our head, resting the head back into the hands. And that allows your upper body to lean back a little bit, thinking about your breastbone. So the middle of your chest is some light beaming up towards the sky. From here, your upper body, you bend towards your right, rooting through your left sitting bone into the ground. That's it. Inhale, come back to center, working with the breath. Exhale, lean to the left. So you might go a little bit quicker or slower than IQ, and that's absolutely fine. The inhale is what brings you back to center. The exhale allows you to bend. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, you bend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, you bend to the right, each side. One more time. And last one. Very nice. Coming back to center, reaching your arms up, and we go into a dynamic twist. Right hand to left knee and left hand behind you on the ground. That's it. The moment you arrive is the moment you're ready to return. So we're just tapping there, reaching your arms up and back towards the center, rotating your upper body to center. Exhale, change the direction. So you keep going right and left and right and left, always coming through the middle, reaching your arms up, and then, yeah, so have that reach in the middle, lifting up. Exhale, twist to one side. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands down onto your knees. Give it a little shimmy from side to side. You can stretch your legs out in front of you. Just give them a little bit of a wiggle, maybe a sway from side to side, circles, point and stretch and point and stretch. Maybe you point and stretch them in opposition. All these different things that you can do, working through your ankles, working through your feet. That's it. And then we'll come back into one more cross-legged position. This time, bring your other leg in front just to mix it up a little bit. Hands rest onto your knees. And we start with our upper body circle. So you bring your upper body forwards to one side, to the back, and to the opposite side. Forwards, to the side, to the back, to the side. You keep going. That's it. Try to, when you're going forward, try to keep your chin in line with your spine. Often what happens is that all of a sudden the chin lifts up the moment we're going forwards. So can you keep it in line with your spine? That's it. It gives us a full sense of length sometimes. And then we take it to the opposite direction, if you haven't already. And here, whilst you do the circles, pay close attention to what happens in the base of your position, the sitting bones rooting into the ground. And then you come back to center, reaching both arms up high towards the sky. And then this time you bend your elbows and you're opening them as if you're doing like a hands up position, as if that's it, like a cactus. Inhale, reaching your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the elbows down, and you bring your elbows only on shoulder height, so don't bring this too low. Inhale, reaching up. 2 more. Exhale, bend your elbows. Bring them a little bit further back. That's it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Beautiful work. Exhale, release your hands. And then we'll come onto all fours on the ground. So you come onto all fours. Your hands will be a little bit in front of your shoulders, your knees ever so slightly behind your hips, so that you've got a little bit more space for your spine to move. And then thinking about, as you exhale, you press your hands and knees into the ground. You're rounding your spine towards the ceiling. You bring your chin into your chest, hollowing the front body. Inhale, lifting your heart, stick your bottom out towards the sky without lifting the knees. Exhale, rounding the spine. So really think about that movement only going up and down rather than front and back. So really thinking about the two ends of the spine moving around. Breathing in, lift and lengthen, shoulders back, heart forwards and up. Exhale, rounding spine, hollowing the front body. And then one more time like this. Exhale, round. And then you can stay here. So one option is to stay, just going straight and forwards. Or if you wanted to add a little wiggle with your hips from side to side, or rounding your spine, following a little bit more of an intuitive movement, you may do so. So you can take some circles on your wrists, you can shift your weight forwards and backwards. Maybe there is like something interesting or something that feels like it needs that little bit of extra attention, so you can rock back and forth. You can be as wild and creative as you wish, or as intricate and technical as you wish. So just tune into what it is that your body would like to do this evening. That's it. All I'm asking is to really tune into your breath as you move. So follow where your breath takes you. Very nice, everyone. Take 2 more breaths here, following that exploration. And then you come back to center. Lovely. From here, you make your way to the ground onto your tummy. So come to lie down onto your tummy, taking your time. Bring your hand underneath your forehead. Lovely, you're already there. Hands underneath your forehead, and then just swing your hips a little bit from side to side. Sway a little bit from side to side. You're rolling over your thighs, giving your thighs a little bit of a massage here. And then when you're ready, you bend your knees, flex the feet. That's it. So you bend your knees, you flex your feet, and the soles of the feet are showing up towards the ceiling now. So if I was to come around and place a tray on your feet, nothing would fall down. So pull the toes down towards the ground. Yes. From here, rooting through both frontal hip bones and really rooting them down into the ground. You start moving your feet over towards the right like a windshield wiper, keeping both hip bones firmly into the ground, and then coming back to center. Exhale, moving your feet over to the left, rooting your right frontal hip bone firmly into the ground and coming back. So we're working on the internal and external rotation of your hips. Take a few of those, taking it back. As you inhale, exhale, you move your feet to the side. And again, you might go a little bit quicker, although I would encourage everyone, especially in the evening, to slow it down more and more wherever you can. Good. And then coming back to center, bring the legs down. We'll start with a swings pose today. So bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And your forearms are parallel to each other. Your fingers, you spread them wide so that you're really rooting down into the ground. And then shrug the shoulders back. Pull your heart forwards, but bringing the shoulders down and away from your ears. That's it. Press the tops of the feet into the ground. So tops of the feet is where your sandal straps would be. So that part presses into the ground. That engages your knees, engages your quads a little bit. Think about your tailbone pulling towards your heels, hollowing a little bit in the front of your tummy. Now turn your head over to the right. Good. Keeping your upper body up. Shoulders back, heart more forwards. And then that's it. Coming back to center. Other side. Turning your head to the left. Good. Really watching out here that your right shoulder doesn't fall forwards. Can you bring that back? And then coming back to center and release down just for a moment. You can wiggle your hips one more time. And then slide your hands down by your side, roughly on chest height. Have your hands down on the ground, your elbows, you bring them in almost as if you're trying to have them connect behind your back. Your hands stay flat on the ground, forehead to the ground. And then press the tops of the feet into the ground, lifting the kneecaps off the floor, engage the quads, tailbone pulls to the heels. Inhale, lifting your upper body up into the sky, lifting up, stretch out your arms whenever they feel like they're ready to stretch. Pull your shoulders back, heart forwards, and then as you exhale, you release down, cobra. So cobra, really working with your breath, slowly working yourself up to always come a little higher. Press tops of the feet into the ground. And then as you inhale, shoulders up to the ears, back. Pull your heart forward, stretch your arms, pressing yourself up. Exhale, release. If you feel, we keep going for 3 more times in your own timing. If you feel this is pulling too much in your lower back, chances are, so we don't want to feel it in our lower back at all. We want to feel it more in the front of our tummy. Your hands might be too far forward. So if you feel like it's pulling in the lower back, bring your hands further back on the mat. So more towards your feet rather than towards the front of the mat. Last one. Good, very nice. And then from here, you'll come back onto all fours. Bend your knees, push yourself back up onto all fours, and then come into a knee stand. So you're on your knees and feet, your hips are right on top of your knees. That's it. So bring your upper body into an upright position, hands into your hips. Good. Shrugging the shoulders back, lifting your heart. Step your right foot forwards on the mat and then scoot it forwards a little bit more. So right foot forwards, coming into a low lunge. Often what happens here is that people step too short. You can bring your hands down by your foot in front and left just to kind of get you arranged as you start getting into that pose. So often what happens is that the stance is too short, and that makes it really tough on the back knee. It makes it actually really tough on the front hip. So scoot your foot, your front foot, more and more forwards, like a little caterpillar, and moving forwards. That's it. Then bring your hands onto the front knee. Lean forwards with your weight so that the weight is mainly in the front foot. Good. Lovely. Now here you can start drawing little circles with your front knee on top of the ankle. That might make it a little bit wobbly, but the good thing is we're very close to the floor already. So if any point you feel like it gets too wobbly, just place your left hand down onto the ground. And you might feel this in the ankle, but also in your left frontal hip. That's kind of where we want to feel it. We want to feel that opening and stretching. Change and reverse the direction if you haven't already of the circle. And then coming back to center, keeping that hip nice and heavy. Get yourself centered. Bring your upper body into an upright position, reaching your arms out to the side. Good. Upper body more upright. So leaning back so that you're right on top of your hip. Good. Bring your hands behind your head just for a moment. Yeah, like we did earlier. So stay here with the balance, and it might be a little bit wobbly, and your upper body leans over to your right. If you feel like you need to place the right hand down, feel free to place the right hand down towards the ground and reaching your left arm up towards the sky. Yeah, that's it. Good. And then coming back down. Lovely. And bringing the front foot back. Very nice. And shaking it out, shaking it out. Good. So there's a few things at play here. So low lunge, it is a balance position. So we have to engage our core a little bit. So core engagement is, you can imagine it a little bit like the muscles around where, if we were to ever wear a corset, luckily those days are over, that's the sort of muscles that we want to engage in our core. So you can think about it a little bit like the main ones that we're thinking about in this position is when you're zipping up a jeans or a trousers. It's exactly that sort of action and exactly that sort of place. So those are the muscles where we're thinking about zipping up and in. So it's not just about sucking our tummy in, but we want that lift action from our pelvis, even though we're allowing gravity to bring us down. That can help a little bit with the balance. The other thing is short hamstrings and short quads can make that a little bit trickier to start with. So you might struggle a little bit more with your balance there, but it's a good stretch to kind of get us just into a place of balance, but we're fairly close to the ground, so we can play around with it. So I would encourage you to be a little bit more daring if you can, and if it means that you need to put your hand down every now and then, please feel free to do that. So we'll come back into a kneeling position and step your left foot forwards into your lunge position. Exactly. Bring your weight mainly into your front foot. So that will release a little bit of pressure from your back leg. That's it. Bring your hands onto the front knee, and we start with our circles. So that way we're working through our ankle and working also through the front of our right hip. Again, remember, you can place your right hand down onto the ground here if both hands on the knee is just too wobbly. Make sure you change the direction, and as you're Doing this movement, can you also check in with what your jaw is doing? If you're clenching your jaw, you're pressing your teeth on another. If you do that, just make sure that you're relaxing that a little bit. And then from here, coming back into an upright position. So bring more weight into the front foot, more. So the most weight is in the front hip. Your hips are really heavy and sink down. So you can imagine there's a heavy weight hanging off of your pelvis. You reach your arms sideways and you bring your upper body into an upright position. Good, very nice. Stay here for a moment. Breathing in, reach the hands a little further. Breathing out, bring them behind your head when you're ready. Interlacing your hands. You can always bring your left hand down, lean back a little bit more, and then bend your upper body over towards your left. Option is to bring your left hand towards the left side. That's it. And to reach your right arm up if behind your head isn't an option. Great stuff. You're coming back to center, reaching both arms up towards the sky. Bow forwards, hands placing right and left next to your front foot. That's it. And then come back into all fours. Shimmy your hips from side to side as if you're a dog wagging its tail. And then super slowly, you come up into a standing position. So you can come through a squat into standing. Good. And once you're up, just allow your feet to be parallel, your arms to hang by your side, palms are facing forwards. We have that sensation of softening through the back knee. So it's not like we're bending the knee, but we have that little bit of softening. You can almost imagine, we're not going to do it, but just pretend that you would jump off the ground right now. That's the sort of readiness and feeling we want to have in our body. It's just like 1, 2, 3, thinking about jumping. So that's the sort of like engagement, everything hugs in, but we have that readiness in our knees. From here, shifting your weight from right foot to left foot. Swaying softly. And allow that to become smaller. Then shifting from heel to toes, toes to heel. And then also making this move closer, smaller and smaller. From here, if you had your eyes closed, feel free to open them. Reaching your arms out to the side. And once more, we bring them behind our head, interlacing your hands behind your head. Open your elbows back as if you're sunbathing. Root through your left foot a little bit more than through your right foot. Start bending your upper body over to the right. So away from the left foot. That's it. So we keep pressing through the left foot. Keep leaning back, thinking about heart lifting up towards the sky. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, change the side. So rooting through your right foot more, bending your upper body to the left. Yes, coming back to center. We'll do each side one more time. To the right, good. To the left. Lovely work. And coming back to center, reaching your arms up, full body stretch through your fingertips. Exhale, hands down by your side and then into your hips. Step your right foot back and behind you, coming into a lunge position. So lunge position, our feet are parallel, they're all facing to the same direction. naturally your back foot will want to turn out. So you have to sort of work against your natural desire to find that balance through a turned out foot. So we're trying to bring our back foot more parallel to the front foot, meaning the right heel turns more out to the right. You might stand a little longer. That might mean that you come onto your tippy toes in the back foot. So the heel might lift. Yes. Try not to lean forwards with your upper body. So we're staying right between both legs with our upper body. It gives us that stability. Bend the front knee, reaching the arms up towards the sky. And today we take 3 circles back. So taking the arms back and behind, down and forwards, back, down, forwards, up. One more. Back, down, forwards, up, and hold up towards the sky. Take a breath in, reaching your fingertips a little higher. Exhale, you take your hands into the hips. Lean forwards, bring your weight into the front of the foot. Step your back foot in to meet the front foot. So bring it next to the front foot. Step your left foot back and behind, coming into the lunge position. Again, take your time. Allow your back foot to do whatever it needs to do first, which is most likely turning the toe slightly out. Then turning the back foot parallel, meaning back heel, left heel a little bit more towards the left. That's it. Bend the front knee. Start to lift your heart a little bit more, not your chin, just your heart. That's it. And then reaching your arms up towards the sky, lifting through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your arms back and down and behind you. Lifting up, back, down and behind you. Lovely. Forwards, up, back and down. And last one, forwards, up, back and down. Yes, nice work. Reaching the fingertips up, lifting through the fingertips. Bend the front knee a little more. Yes, very nice. Hands into the hips, leaning forward. Step your back foot forwards. Take a little shimmy with your hips. Maybe take a little circle with the hips. You know, every now and then a little shimmy. That would be also my advice. Not very yoga-y, but, you know, at least once a day, put on a good tune for 3 minutes and just have a little bit of a boogie. Just once a day, especially on those days where the mood is gloomy. Might help. And then coming back into your parallel position. Stepping your right foot back and behind. Good. And bending your front knee. Good. Now this time, reach both arms forwards in line with your shoulders. Good. Keeping your right arm where it is. And your left arm lifts up towards the sky. And then back and behind you takes your upper body into a twist towards your left. That's it. Keep your front knee bent. Good. Have that feeling of your inner thighs moving towards each other. Very nice, everyone. You come back out by bringing the bottom hand forwards, the back hand forwards, hands into the hips, stepping your back foot forwards. Very nice. Shake it all out. We've got the other side. Nice control. Stepping your left foot back, coming into a lunge, reaching both arms forwards on shoulder height. That's it. Keeping your left arm where it is, reaching your right arm up and then back and behind you, and that opens your upper body towards the right. Good. Now have the feeling of your inner thighs that try to move towards each other as if you're trying to hold on to something with them. Good. Weight a little bit more into the outer edge of the front foot. Coming back by bringing your back hand forwards and hands into the hips. Stepping your back foot forwards. Very nice. We're going to do one more warrior position standing. So if you're working with a mat, turn your way sideways so that you're facing the long edge of the mat. If you're not working with a mat, just turn your way into a direction where you know that you can stretch out sideways. Now your feet are stepping wide. Our right foot is our front foot. So you turn your right foot out towards the right. Bend your front knee and then reaching your arms sideways away from you. That's it. Now your upper body rotates back towards the long edge of the mat. So rotate your upper body so that it faces the same direction as your back foot. That's it. Your hips are slightly diagonally open towards the right. Bend a little deeper as you exhale. Bring your lower ribs in, but keeping your hearts lifted. Lovely. To come out, you bring your hands into the hips. You lengthen the front leg and turning the foot back into the parallel position. Good. Other side. Turn your left heel in, toes out. Bend the front knee. Your upper body faces towards the long edge of the mat. Without rotating your hips. So allow your hips to remain slightly diagonally open. So we have a little bit of a twist in our spine. Reaching your arms sideways. Good. And hold here. So the front leg is bent. The back leg stays long. Think about pressing your back leg into the ground and away from you. That helps you stretch the knee. Take one more breath. Hands into the hips. Lengthen the front leg, turning the front foot parallel. That's it. And then turning your right foot in, heel in, toes out. Coming to the other side. So right foot out. Exactly. Hips are slightly open to the right. Upper body rotates back to the long edge of the mat without losing the hips. Reaching your arms sideways. Bending the front knee. Warrior two. Option is to stay here if you feel like that's enough. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can gently lift your front heels, the right heel ever so slightly off the ground. Yes, beautiful. You can hold this here for a few breaths. Good. Very nice, everyone. When you're ready, you bring your heel down. You lengthen your front leg by pressing the foot into the ground, hands into the hips. Lovely work. Turning the front foot parallel, other side. Bring your heel in, toes out. Bend the front knee. Good. Reaching your arms out in line with your shoulders. Good. Option to stay here if that's enough. If you want a little bit more, you can see what happens if you lift your front heel, left heel off the ground. Very nice. Beautiful. Keep holding. Take 2 more breaths. And then when you exhale, you release the heel down, hands into the hips, lengthen your front leg, turning the front foot in, and bring your feet together until they meet. Lovely. Turn back towards the short edge of the mat. We're going to do one more thing for our legs, and then we move into the floor again. So again, we're going to move our feet. If you've got a mat, you move your feet as wide as the mat and then turn your toes ever so slightly out and your heels in. So we're coming into like a comfortable sort of wider stance with our feet slightly turned out. They don't have to be turned out much because we're going to move through this, but we want to have a comfortable stance. You reach your arms out towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you bring your hands in a prayer position above your head. You let your hands glide alongside your face, almost as if you're trying to make like a line from the middle of your forehead, down your nose, down your lips to your heart. And as you come to your heart, you bend your knees. Bring your knees out to the side. Imagine there's something really heavy hanging off of your tailbone. So slightly different to your chair pose that we've done before. So we're trying not to stick out our bottom here. It will automatically do it a little bit, but we try to really have it just resting down. And then press your feet into the ground. That lengthens your legs. So imagine you're trying to press the floor away. That lengthens your knees, and you reach your arms up towards the sky. We repeat that 2 more times. Exhale, bend your knees, bring your weight more into the outer edges of your feet, hands to your heart, and sink a little deeper as you exhale. Option is to stay here for 1 breath, or to lift your right heel, lower it down, and then lifting your left heel and lower it down. And then you're reaching your arms up towards the sky. Stretch out your legs. Lovely. And then one last one. Exhale, bending your knees, sliding down. Bring your weight more to the outer edges of your feet. That's it. Maybe you lift your heels. Very nice. Good. And then stretch out your arms as well. Full body stretch. Exhale, it's time to go back down to the ground. Very nice, everyone. So come into a seated position. You can stretch out your legs in front of you. The seated position, legs stretch out in front of you. So bring your feet together. Toes pull back, sitting up tall. You bring your right foot close towards your chest. So both legs are long. Both legs are long. That's it. And then right knee close to your chest. And then really grab hold of the knee, grabbing around the knee and pulling your upper body close to the knee. And that brings you into an upright position. Lovely. From here, you're reaching your right arm up towards the sky. Bring the right hand behind you. Slide your left elbow around your right knee. So right hand behind you on the ground. Left elbow sweeps around your right knee. Now, what your knee wants to do when you're having the elbow around it, it wants to fall in. But can you press the knee into your elbow? Yes, to create some traction. Flex your left toes back. Press the heels into the ground. So our left leg is long, the right knee is bent, our upper body twists towards the right. That's it. Shoulders melt away from the ears. And then you come back to center. Stretch your arms up towards the sky, the legs long. Bringing your left knee close to your hips, wrapping your hands around the knees, and that helps you to pull your upper body towards the leg, lifting your left arm up towards the sky. Bring it behind you onto the ground on fingertips. Slide your right elbow around your left knee. Flex your right foot. So press the heel into the ground. Yes. And almost have that feeling of your right leg almost wants to roll in ever so slightly. Relax the shoulders away. Imagine this pose working through the spine like a pearl necklace, twisting on 2 ends. Thinking about bottom spine twisting up. And then coming back to center. Reaching your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands by your side. Bend both knees. We'll come to our Pilates roll down to come back to lie on our tummy. So reach your arms in front of you. We've got different options. So if you want a little bit more work for your core, you can lengthen your legs. If you say, Hannah, it's not even, it's Thursday after 7 o'clock. I don't want to work that hard. That's okay. You reach your arms forwards. You can keep your knees bent, legs long is if you want a little bit more. And then you start rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Have that feeling of the hands keep pulling you forwards. Your upper body rolls back, 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 whilst your hands keep pulling you forwards until you come to lie on your back. So really slowly rolling down, keeping the arms pushing forwards. That's it. Lovely. Once you arrived at the bottom of the yoga mat, you can bend both knees. Reach your arms sideways. So bend both knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the ground. Your arms are reaching sideways in line with your shoulders. If you don't have enough space, you can bend your elbows, coming back into this like hands up position. From here, your knees can fall from side to side slowly and steadily. So don't rush. So as you bring your knees over to the left, you exhale, and then the inhale, imagine your right hip, someone's pulling you down on the right hip, and that brings your knees back to center. Exhale, knees fall to the right. Inhale, pull your left hip back to bring the knees back. Exhale, knees fall to the left, and you keep going a few rounds here. Pull your right hip back. Exhale, left. Inhale, go back to center. Just a few more rounds. Good. Each side one more time. And once you've done an even number, take a moment to pause with your feet on the ground. Bring your knees to your chest. Wrap your hands around the shins or grab behind the kneecaps. Sway a little bit from side to side. Yes, you can take some circles as well. That feels better on the lower back. What we want to do here is give the lower back a little bit of a massage with the usage of the floor. Place your left foot on the ground, keeping your right knee close to your chest. Pull it a little closer as you exhale. Maybe if you've got the mobility, the flexibility, you can extend your left leg alongside the floor. Flex the foot, press the heel into the ground, pull the left toes towards you. If you can, relax your right foot though. So left foot is nice and active, right foot is relaxed. Place your left hand onto the front left hip, stabilizing your left side, gently opening your right knee ever so slightly to the right. Yes. Very nice. And then come back and we change sides. So bring both knees close to your chest. Left knee stays, right leg lengthens alongside the mat. Flex the foot, pull the toes back. That's it. Left knee close to your chest. Pull a few times. Bring your right hand onto your right front hip and thigh. Gently open the left knee towards the side. And then come back to center. Reach your legs up into the sky, legs up into the sky, arms into the sky. Take a few circles with your ankles and your wrists. So working through the feet, through the ankles, and then in the other direction. You can shake out your legs and you can be as wild as it feels okay in the space that you have. And then releasing your feet down onto the ground. And we come into our Shavasana. So traditionally our legs are long, our feet are as wide as the mat and falling open. Our arms are by our side, palms are facing upwards towards the ceiling, eyes are closed. Try to relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. If this variation gives you grief in your lower back, You can always bend your knees again, just as we did at the beginning. You can bend your knees, bring your feet as wide as the mat, and then allow the knees to fall inwards until the inner knees are touching. That way you release your lower back. And then allow your body to rest. A few moments of release, of relaxation and softness. Final Shavasana, the place where practice comes to settle. Give your body permission to rest. Your heart permission to remain open. And your mind to find calm. Right here, right now, nothing else needs doing. Your legs, arms, pelvis, head, and upper body are delightfully heavy and melt into the earth. With every exhale, they melt a little deeper. You breathe and calm. You exhale tension. With every exhale, you melt a little bit deeper into the earth. And then very slowly, you start bringing awareness back into the room that you're in, to the sounds around you near and far, to the feeling of the clothes on your skin. You deepen your breath. You bring movement back into the body, twinkling fingers and toes. Moving head from side to side. Bend both knees, place both soles of the feet onto the ground. Reach your arms above your head and roll onto whichever side feels more natural today. And you bring yourself up into one last seated position of your choice. Gather both hands in front of heart. And let's finish our practice with a few words of gratitude. Say thank you to our body for carrying us through this practice, supporting us and our loved ones throughout this week, and for always giving us a home no matter what. With love and great respect. Thank you very much, team. Thank you for having me. I won't be able to unmute you from my end, but I'll say bye-bye. Have a lovely rest of your evening. I hope you feel a little bit more grounded and ready to kind of float into the evening Wishing you a good night's rest.